was under pressure, ministry never quit. I was trying to do better. July 2020 in the mountains of Tennessee.
The little old man down, 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 little old man down.
I was under pressure, ministry never quit. I was trying to do better. July 2020 in the mountains of Tennessee.
Don't wanna be one of those five. I want you to call my name. Don't wanna wake up and realize that I was too late and missed the train. I'm all dressed in white, waiting for your call, waiting all through the night, hoping I don't fall asleep. Oh no, don't wanna be one of those five. I want you to call my name. Don't wanna wake up and realize that I was too late and missed the train.
Yahuwah Elohim, I'm patiently waiting on the day you will redeem. When all who's chosen will come to your wedding feast. When every soul will confess your name, every soul bows to your feet. You woke me up, but I can go to sleep. Humbly praying that you cleanse my way and that my walk won't cease. This walk is lonely, the road is stony, but I follow your every step so you can say you know me.
One of those five. I want you to call my name. Don't wanna wake up and realize that I was too late and missed the train.
Okay, this walk is lonely, the road is stony, but I follow your every step so you can say you know me and show me the kingdom of Ep09, which is eternal life. Please save my life and put your garment on me. 144, please count me in. I gave my life to you and turned away from sin, and then you set me on a hill so I could be a light. I beg Yahuwah, don't let me
be
lose my
one of those
sight.
I want you to call my name. Don't wanna wake up and realize that I was too late and missed the train. Don't wanna be one of those five. I want you to call my name. Don't wanna wake up and realize that I was too late and missed the train.
Shalom, shalom to the brethren. What up to everybody else? It's Yag B. Lou. Pardon my screen. Shout out to them sisters. That's Sister Nakia Brown, and Sis Drea. You know, that was a banger right there. Shout out to them. All praise to the Most High. Thanks to His Son Yahushua HaMashiach. And shout out to everybody supporting the podcast. Hit that like button, hit that share button. Make sure to comment. Tell me what you liked, tell me what you didn't like. And I'll make sure to give you some kind of a response. So today we're going to be talking about, we're going to be reading the Book of Ezra, chapter 3, chapter 4. I kind of skimmed over it a little bit before I did this, and it's going to be an interesting read. Let's see what the Most High Yah got in store for us. I pray that He use me as a vessel to help strengthen, to help rebuke, admonish whoever may read this, hear this now or in the future. And I pray that it be of use to all who hear of it. In the name of Yahushua Mashiach. So be it. Toda Rabah, but yeah. So let's get right on into that thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Pardon my screen, by the way. I need to get me a green sheet. So I quit blurring in and out of that thing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm gonna get it together. Harbor willing. Let's get into the Esdras. Let's get right on into them. All right, we got the Book of Ezra, chapter 3, verse 1. When the 7th month came, and Yasharal were in the towns, the people gathered together in Jerusalem. Then Yeshua, son of Jehozadak, with his fellow Nabi, and Zerubbabel, son of Shealtiel, I'm sure, with his kin, set out to build the altar of the Most High, of Yasharal, to offer burnt offerings on it, as prescribed in the law of Moshe, the man of Yah. They set up the altar on its foundation because they were in dread of the neighboring peoples, and they offered burnt offerings upon it to the Most High, Boca and Layla. And they kept the festival of booths, as tabernacles, as prescribed, and offered daily burnt offerings by number according to the ordinance, as required for each day. And after that, the regular burnt offerings, the offerings at the new moon, and at all the sacred festivals of the Most High, and the offerings of everyone who made a free will offering to the Most High. From the first day of the 7th month, they began to offer burnt offerings to the Most High, but the foundation of the temple of the Most High was not laid yet. So they gave money to the masons and carpenters, and food, drink, and oil to the Sidonians and the Tyrians, to bring cedar trees from Lebanon to the Sea of Joppa, to Joppa, according to the grant that they had from King Cyrus of Persia. In the 2nd year after their arrival at the house of the Most High at Jerusalem, in the 2nd month, Zerubbabel, son of Shealtiel, and Yeshua, son of Jehozadak, made a beginning together with the rest of their people, the Nabi and the Levites, and all who had come to Jerusalem from captivity. They appointed the Levites from 20 years old and upward to have the oversight of the work on the house of the Most High. Okay, here we go. What we have here is, we have the children of Yasharal, the children of Israel, coming out of captivity from the Babylonians, I want to say. And they were given a decree from the king of Persia, who is the new ruler. The Persians beat out the Babylonians. Persian Medes. Right, the Persians beat out the Babylonians. And they've given the children of Israel permission to go and build the altar to the Most High. So they're doing it. They're also going back to the old ways. They're going back to the old books, because you have to understand that they were in captivity for some time. They haven't been able to who do all the things in which they're redoing now, like all of the offerings, keeping tabernacles, and all of this, which kind of hints at the fact that they didn't keep it in captivity, that they waited until they got into the land in order to keep it. So this is what we see here. We see a return to the old ways, right? We see a separation from the ways of the heathen and cleave into the ways of our ancestors, to the ways of the Most High, right? Now, granted, it's partially due to fear, because they are in fear that the people that have them captive and those around them will renege on their promises and on their gratitude and try to destroy them. Our people have always been persecuted, always been hated by the other nations. So in an effort to gain protection, they're seeking the Most High. They're seeking to please Him. They're seeking to reinstitute His ordinances, which is what we could learn from this. We could learn from the fact of, if we desire to get something from the Most High, the Creator of the heavens and the earth, if we desire Him to act on our behalf, then we have to in turn seek His face. We have to in turn be in good standing with Him. And how you seek His face and how you be in good standing with Him is you do the things in which He has commanded us to do, and you offer your obedience in those things, right? You offer sacrifices, which today is not of rams and bullocks, right? It's more of the inconveniencing of yourself through the chastening of yourself against things that you'd rather not do, or is in some ways difficult for you to do. You do them anyway, right? They just came out of captivity. They hadn't been doing these things, but everything they did, it took work, it took chores, but they eagerly went about the work to secure the pleasure and the tube wheel, the right standing with the Most High. And they knew in order to do that, they have to carry out His ordinances. So this is what we see here, was part of what we see here. So the second year after their arrival at the house of the Most High at Jerusalem, in the second month of Zerubbabel, son of Shealtiel, and Yeshua, son of Jehozadak, began a beginning together with the rest of the people, the Nabi and the Levites and all who had come to Jerusalem from the captivity. They appointed the Levites from 20 years old and upward to have the oversight of the work on the house of the Most High. And Yeshua with his sons and his kin, and Kadmiel and his sons Benui and Hadaviah, along with the sons of Henadad, the Levites, their sons and kin, together took charge with the workers in the house of the Most High. The builders laid the foundation of the temple of the Most High. The Nabi in their vestments were stationed to praise the Most High with trumpets, and the Levites, the son of Asaph, with cymbals, according to the direction of King Daud of Yasharal. So you see, this is a great work that they're putting together, right? And they sang responsively, praising and giving thanks to the Most High, for He is tube. For his steadfast Ahab endures forever toward Yasharal. And all the people responded with a great shout, when they praised the Most High, because the foundation of the house of the Most High was laid. This is something to take note of, right? They didn't just do works. They gave praise. They gave honor. They stopped and gave recognition to the Most High. That's what He desires. You know, most men desire respect. They desire reverence. They desire consideration. You know, and it's not by accident, because our Father, the greatest Father, you know, He desires these same things from His people, from His creation. So this is how you aid your works. This is how you know, this is the icing on top of the cake. Because you can't really do one without the other, you know. You can't praise, you can't have authentic praise without works. And you can't have true and honest works without praise. But many of the Nabi and the Levites and the heads of families, old people who had seen the first house on its foundation, wept a loud voice when they saw this house, though many shouted aloud for joy, so that the people could not distinguish the sound of the joyful shout from the sound of the people's weeping. For the people shouted so loudly that the sound was heard far away. Now, the first temple was destroyed, right? And the people pretty much redid it as best they could, but it's not of the same stature, of the same prominence of the first house. So the people who had seen the first house, they're happy to have had some progress, but they realize just how much they lost from the first one. So let's continue on. Chapter 4. Now this is where we're going to get a lot of gems at right here. We're going to get a lot of gems right here. All right, chapter 4, verse 1. When the adversaries of Yehuda and Benjamin heard that the returned exiles were building a temple of the Most High, the mighty one of Yasharal, right? Yehuda and Benjamin. This is the Yehuda, Benjamin, and parts of Levi is what we know of as the kingdom of Judah, for those of you who are unfamiliar, right? There are 12 tribes, but those tribes were split into two under the son of King Solomon, Rehoboam, right? It was split into two. 9.5 tribes went into captivity by the Assyrians and got scattered, and 2.5 was left in the land, and they eventually got put into captivity by the Babylonians, and the Babylonians lost their kingdom to the Persians, which is who, I mean, it's either the Persians or the it was the Persians. It's the Persians, because I think that the Babylonians beat the Persians. I mean the Assyrians, and then the Persians beat the Babylonians, and then the Greeks beat the Persians, and then the Romans beat the Greeks, and so on and so on. So this is where we at. 2. They approached Zerubbabel and the heads of families and said to them, "Let us build with you, for we worship your mighty one as you do, And we have been sacrificing to him ever since the days of King Esarhaddon of Assyria, who brought us here. Now, this is what you have to understand. When the Assyrians took over Northern Kingdom, they took them out of their homelands and put other people in it. When they put other people in the land, the animals was killing the people, right? So they brought in Northern Kingdom to come help them out, right? So it's very possible that they picked up some traits. They understood certain things about, our power and how to worship him, right? To the point to where they could say what they're saying. But it tells you plainly up here in 1, it says, the adversaries of Yehuda and Benjamin heard that the returned exiles were building a temple. So, this is what we have today as well. We have people who are trying to live right, trying to do right, trying to get back in line. And then you have adversaries, haters, people that want to come hurt your progress. They want to come and get in your way so that you don't complete your mission, right? Or they just want to come be nosy and look for the opportune time to stop you, right? That's what these people are trying to do, so they go and talk to the bigwigs. They don't just talk to no regular people. They talking to the high priest and to the heads of all the families of Yasharal, and they ask them, let us build with you, right? For we worship your God as you do. As we see this with the other nations as well, the Hebrew people have been, brutalized over centuries and centuries, by many nations, right? And done in such a way horribly. And we've been grafted into all these other nations and all these other cultures. And every time we try to separate ourselves from these cultures and try to build things on our own, they try to come out of what they're doing to come and find out what we're doing. Not that we should have any kind of hate or any kind of malice in our hearts toward these people. But, we do deserve to have our peace. We do deserve to have our time alone. We tend to not really infringe on other people's privacy when they want to be alone. We understand. Y'all want to be alone? Cool. But when we want to be alone, they get offended. They try to assert themselves forcefully. Or, as you're about to find out, they go tell. You know what I'm saying? They go tattletale. That's where your Karens and your Kens come from. Your Karens and your Kens. They want to tell on you because who do you think you are? Trying to be Mr. Big Shot. But anyway, let's continue. They approached Zerubbabel and the heads of the families and said to them, let us build with you, for we worship your mighty one as you do, and we have been sacrificing to him ever since the days of King Esarhaddon of Assyria brought us here. And you have to pay attention. How they sacrificing to him, they ain't got no temple. How they sacrificing to him, they don't have priests. These are the ways in which the Most High commanded for sacrifices to be made to him. In the place where he's placed his name, and by the family of priests that he's commanded to be in charge. So these people, they may worship, but they're not doing it rightly. As we see today, as we see with the same thing. When people try to come in, they come in with that same mind. We love God too. We love the Most High. We love Jesus. We love him like you do. But Zerubbabel, Yeshua, And the rest of the heads of families in Yasharal said to them, this is the mind we have to have, right? At times, there can be an opening for reconciliation, for fellowship, if people meet the standard of what it takes for peace to be had. You don't just make peace with anybody. They have to meet the terms and conditions of the peace. But Zerubbabel, Yeshua, and the rest of the heads of families of Yasharal said to them, you shall have no part with us in building a house to our mighty one, but we alone will build to the Most High, the mighty one of Yasharal, as King Cyrus of Persia had commanded us. Now, they didn't say that they couldn't worship. They didn't say that they couldn't fellowship. They said, we don't want y'all help building this. We got this. The king of Persia told us we can do this. They say he commanded us, So that's how you do that. Take that air right out of that little bubble, Then the people of the land discouraged. See, that's how they do. They want to hate. They want to hate. They want to sit back and take shots at you. But you got to be strong. You got to know whom you serve. You got to know what you set out to do. You got to stay focused. Stay trying to get you off focus. That's why they discouraging you. First, they want to help. When you don't let them help, now they want to stop. They want you to believe you can't do something without them. That's what a hater, that's what an adversary does, is sow doubt, sow discord. Make you think as if you aren't able, you aren't strong enough, you aren't smart enough, you ain't got enough money, you don't have enough talent, you don't have enough, tools. But you have to know better than that. Then the people of the land discouraged the people of Yehuda and made them afraid to build. So you got to understand, these are strangers that don't really know everything. They got exposed to Northern Kingdom, who had already been raped and ravaged by the Assyrians. The Assyrians made them people drink their own urine and eat their own feces. You don't believe me? Look it up. It doesn't verbatim say that they made them eat it, but what happened was, he was either the captain of the host, or he was like a messenger or whatever from the king of Assyria. At this time, they had already captured Northern Kingdom. The king of Assyria sent a messenger to the king of Yehuda, Hezekiah, and told him to surrender and to give up. And he said, if you want to, keep your life, if you want to live, just surrender to me. But you can't just give up, as a peace offering to me for acting like you want to fight me. Just drink your own urine and eat your own feces. Those the terms. So if he conquered Northern Kingdom and all of them didn't get killed in battle, what you think the ones who lived had to do? I'm just saying. Maybe they didn't do it, but it's very possibly they did, because the Most High Yah was very displeased with them, to the point that he divorced them, so they did something bad. But let's continue. And let me start at 4 again. Then the people of the land discouraged the people of Yehuda and made them afraid to build. And they bribed officials to frustrate. Oh yeah, real quick, I want to point out too, right? The king of Assyria, it was a mighty, mighty king. They had killed a lot of people. They had took over a lot of lands. Assyria was pretty much like America and Britain and France and Canada and, all these white nations that rule the rest of the world pretty much, right? They was like that. They conquered everybody. They whooped everybody. And they came against the king of Yehuda, right? And threatened him, They threatened him so bad. They said, look, we'll give you chariots. We'll give you stuff to fight with. But he said, you don't even got enough people to even use it. Pretty much talking bad to him, trying to let him know that their army is like so great, So, it's a deep story really, because what he wanted was, he was taxing Yehuda. He was taxing them, right? And he was like, well, if y'all can't come up with this money, instead of us going to war with you and killing you, why don't you just, drink your own urine, eat your own feces, because you ain't going to be able to come up with the money. So Hezekiah went and took the golden doors out the temple and gave it to him for the money, And he prayed to the Most High Yah. All the people, they prayed to the Most High Yah for his help. And Yah helped them. And they were able to fight off the king of Assyria. I don't think they beat him, but they kept them from taking over their lands, because they turned to the Most High Yah. They sought after them. They pleaded. They didn't give in. They didn't give up just because it looked bad. We could learn from that. Things written aforetime was written for our learning, for our strength, for our encouragement. It's good for rebuke, admonishment, correction, sound doctrine. We could use these stories to live, brothers and sisters, and not just study to know stuff, but we could live. We could be strengthened. We could be encouraged, empowered to move. Right. Anyway, they bribed officials to frustrate their plan throughout the reign of King Cyrus in Persia until the reign of King Darius of Persia. These people that hated on them, they didn't just stop. They didn't just come that one day and get told no and was like, okay, cool. No, they went other ways. They went around. They went and made backroom deals. They bribed officials, right? They did everything they can in their power to try to halt the progress of these people. And that's what people going to do to us. That's what the adversary is going to do to us, because he's the adversary for a reason. He's the adversary because he wants what's adverse for us. If we want to go forward, he want to push us backward. If we want more, he wants us to have less. So we have to continue to fight. We have to continue to press on. And the key to this whole thing is to want what's right. Our people only wanted to build the temple to serve the Most High Yah. They didn't want, extravagant things. They didn't want frivolous things. They didn't want wicked things. They wanted what was right. And they did the proper things in order to secure it from the Most High Yah. They didn't just ask. They were obedient. They went about ways of worshiping him in the ways in which he commanded. They didn't just have their hand out. They weren't just begging. They did what it took to get what they needed. And he gave it. And that's what we have to do, brothers and sisters. In the reign of Ahasuerus, in his accession year, they wrote an accusation against the inhabitants of Yehuda and Jerusalem. And in the days of Artaxerxes, Bishlam, and Mithridates, and Tabeel, and the rest of their associates wrote to King Artaxerxes of Persia. The letter was written in Aramaic and translated. Rehum, the royal deputy of Shimshai, the scribe, wrote a letter against Jerusalem to King Artaxerxes and follows. See, at first they tried to go to the officials. They tried to go on a lower level. But when that don't work, then they appeal to higher courts. The heathen, the adversary only turns up the heat. You just have to be prepared for each level that he's willing to go. You have to be willing to go as far as he's willing to go and further, right? Then Rahum, the royal deputy, Shimshai the scribe, and the rest of their associates, the judges, the envoys, the officials, the Persians, the people of Erech, the Babylonians, the people of Susa, that is, the Elamites, and the rest of the nation whom the great and noble Osnappar deported and settled in the cities of Samaria. That's what I'm talking about. They replaced northern kingdom with the people of Samaria. Settled in the cities of Samaria and in the rest of the province beyond the river wrote. This is the letter. And now, this is the copy of the letter that they sent to King Artaxerxes, your servants. This is what the haters are writing to the king, trying to tell on the people. To King Artaxerxes, your servants, the people of the province beyond the river send greeting. And now may it be known to the king that the Yahudim who came up from you to us have gone to Jerusalem. They are rebuilding that rebellious and wicked city. They are finishing the walls and repairing the foundations. That's what they're saying now. Them black Hebrew Israelites is wearing fringes and eating clean foods and raising their families and coming out of the world and leaving off from wickedness. That rebellious people. Changing. They're trying to be righteous now. Same thing going on today. Now may it be known to the king, if this city is built and the walls finished, they will not repay tribute, custom, or toll, and the royal revenue will be reduced. That's how they tell on you. They gonna kill us, they gonna rape us, they gonna rob us, they gonna hurt us. That's why they're trying to raise their kids. They're trying to raise up an army. They trying to hurt our economy. All this old stuff. People come up with all kind of lies. Stuff people ain't even thinking nothing about. All these people want to do is praise the Most High Yah. All they want to do is to be protected, to not be hurt. Same thing we want to do today. But do you think the enemy cares? They don't care. They want our destruction, even to the point of making up lies about us, as we see still going on today. Now, because we share the salt of the palace, and it is not fitting for us to witness the king's dishonor, and that's how they do too. They going to tell on you to somebody that probably didn't know what you was doing until they told them. And they act like they trying to help the person. They trying to trick. I need to say that again. They act like they're trying to help the person that they're trying to trick to hurt you. Wicked, slimy, greasy type people, right? It's not fitting for us to witness the king's dishonor. Therefore, we sinned and informed the king, so that a search may be made in the annals of your ancestors. You will discover in the annals that this is a rebellious city, hurtful to kings and provinces, and that sedition was stirred up in it from long ago. On the account this city was laid waste. On that account this city was laid waste. Letting you know that, these people have been punished, right? So, what they saying is partially true. That's how the heathen is. The heathen always want to, you have to bring truth with the lie to make the lie sound better. If you don't bring no truth with it, it ain't going to stick. So don't be fooled by people with half truths. That's why the Most High hate unjust balances. that could be cheating and robbing someone out of a proper deal, but it could also be related to not being forthcoming with information, hiding, tricking, thievery, getting over on somebody, and the people at this time is not concentrating on vengeance. They're not concentrating on any kind of hatred. They just want to build this temple. They're not trying to build an army. We haven't read anything about them planning to fight against the king. We haven't heard anything about them planning to not pay the king what they owe the king. But here are these people making up these lies and trying to put fear. See, that's what the adversary does as well. Notice earlier in the story, they tried to discourage the people. They tried to put fear in the people. When they couldn't put fear in the people, then they tried to bribe the officials. When they couldn't bribe the officials, now they're trying to come and put fear in the king. Trying to tell them, like, go and look. Go and read the histories. What these people do. These people are violent. These people rise up. These people rebel. They gonna get you, king. You gotta stop them before they get strong. Same thing we see today. These people so scared that we gonna do to them what they did to us. And that's not our mind for most of us. Some people got that mind. Some people want blood. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, we just want to be left alone. We just want to raise our families. We just want to praise the Most High Yah and be left to ourselves. It's others like these people, like Rahum, like Shimshai, that just want to see the destruction of us at all costs. The king sent an answer to Rahum, the royal deputy, and Shimshai, the scribe, and the rest of their associates who live in Samaria and in the rest of the province beyond the river, greeting. And now the letter that you sent to us has been read in translation before me. So I made a decree, and someone searched. And discovered that this city has risen against kings from long ago, and that rebellion and sedition have been in it. See, that's why I say they had to put the truth with it, because the fact of the matter is that it has happened before. But does that mean that they're planning to do it again? The Most High told them to surrender to the Babylonians. He told them, I'm bringing these people against you as a punishment to you. Just submit. Do not fight against these people. And they was hard-headed. They want to fight against them anyway. So their punishment was worse than what it had to be. Right? So it's very possible that these people could have learned their lesson by now. Like, we need to listen to the Most High. We don't need to be acting up. So they very well could be trying to get their act together all the way. But here you got some haters throwing salt in the game. And that's what they do. That's what they do, man. Throw salt in the game. Jerusalem has had mighty kings who ruled over the whole province beyond the river, to whom the tribute, custom, and toll were paid. Therefore, issue an order that these people be made to cease, and that this city not be rebuilt, until I make a decree. Moreover, take care not to be slack in this matter. Why should damage grow to the hurt of the king? See, the field tactic worked, right? He's scared to death. Then, when the copy of King Artaxerxes' letter was read before Rahum and the scribe Shimshai and their associates, they hurried to the Yahudim in Jerusalem, and by force and power made them cease. At that time, the work on the house of the Most High in Jerusalem stopped and was discontinued until the second year of the reign of King Darius of Persia. you'll find out that happened during the time of Nehemiah. You'll find it in the story of Nehemiah, but you can continue reading that. That's all I got for that. Torah, Torah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Yes. So all praise to the Most High, man. You know, I just want to encourage the brothers and sisters, man. You know, even to the strangers and the Gentiles who seek to cleave to the skirt of the Yahudim. You know, all praise to the Most High for you. But to all of those who seek the Most High, you know, when you set yourself to serve the Most High, you have to prepare yourself. Prepare yourself for temptation. Prepare yourself for trial, because it's coming. People like Shimshai and Rahum and all that, man, they're a dime a dozen. It's a lot of them. It'll never be an ending to them until the Most High puts an ending to them. They are of use now. They are of use to snare the weak, right? To discover the hidden things of the actor, of the pretender, of the people who aren't diligent, of the people who aren't truly have a heart to serve the Most High Yah, right? These types of people come to take those type of people out of the game, to take them out of circulation, okay? Let that not be you. Let you be one who truly seeks the Most High Yah. Let you be the one who truly stays the path through all hardships, through all interference. May you have peace and shalom in all turmoil. May you be able to have serenity in all chaos. So be it. Torah Rabbah. In the name of Yahushua Mashiach. So be that. And all praises. We'll see you next time on the Script Talk podcast. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button. And we'll see you next time. 12 tribes.